Hi folks, JP here from the podcast. Just to let you all know that the podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment, and the AB stands for Mr. Alec Beveridge. It's a DJ and entertainment business. Alex is on Facebook and Instagram, and you can hit him up through the WhatsApp for any bookings on 07845 746 092. And also folks, the podcast has taken on a new partner, and we're partnered by MCM Framing Services and Hoops Memorabilia. If you want any jerseys, or if you've got any memorabilia sitting around you want framed or anything looked after that way, contact John Mullaney, and you can get him at johnmullaney0971@gmail.com, or contact him on his mobile 07835 072 582. And here at the Unrestricted View, we hope you're all enjoying the content, and if you are, please like and subscribe. It's free to do so, and also share amongst your Celtic family as well. Hail, hail from all of us. Good evening and welcome back along to the Celtic Unrestricted View. It's myself, JP, and joining me on this fine Thursday evening is a wee guy that was on all your screens with me again outside Paradise the other day when we were having our wee chat outside the stadium, mate. I can't shake him off. I can't get rid of him. It's my good man, Mr. Ryan Clifford. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm still a wee guy. Somebody actually says to me, I didn't know you're that wee, Ryan. Well, I'm not the tallest a person in every way, shape or form, shall we say. No, I'm good, mate. Obviously, been a bit quiet recently, obviously. With Celtic season finished, so, but a few rumours flying about on social media and Twitter, mate. So I think in the next few days, I think you'll see a bit more of conversations happening between fans and between us, and that's when you know the season's finished and the new one's coming up, and social media is going to be hot with links and rumours and everything else. So looking forward to the madness of player bingo. Who I like to be, he's coming, or he's signed, he's no signing. So looking forward to that, and also the chat I'll do with yourself, mate. Obviously, some new content coming up this leading up to next season, so that was good as well. And it was also good to be face to face, mate, which is also good as well. Not just on a wee screen here, two wee things here. So, but I'm good. Sun's shining in Glasgow, JP. So it's all rosy in the garden, mate. How are you?
Yeah, mate, we're all good. I've had a really busy day, as you know, mate. Myself running about pandemonium. Out with that, I'm in good spirits. I've been in good spirits. Like I says, it's been an amazing fortnight. The last fortnight for us. Obviously, Celtic winning the double, and but yeah, you touched on the other day, mate. I really enjoyed that the other day. A really good chat with you, and it's good to. Like I says, it's something different for the viewers, and like Ryan says, folks, there's going to be lots more that kind of stuff happening now moving forward, and obviously into next season. giving the podcast a new look and the way we do things, the way we operate, and just touching on the way we operate. Obviously, we've got ourselves some new technology and new toys to play with as well, mate. You're used to some different toys, mate, in your off down, so won't you be one? But we'll keep that line for another day.
Aye, there's certain toys that remain anonymous, and there's certain toys that can be outside Celtic Park, i.e. shaped mics that we'll deal with some other time. But I know, listen, it was a good chat. It will be fun going forward. There will be more of that, and also the wee clip is recording. That will be obviously more as well. We'll still do obviously the live stuff, but it's just to give a bit more variety to the fans and gives the podcast a bit of a new look as well. So moving forward next season, there will be more of that. And it's been a good 2 weeks, mate, being a Celtic fan. Still having meltdowns across the road, which is brilliant to see. They're worried about this most world successful team, which we all know, it's kind of made up on it. So they've obviously across the road, directors-wise and CEO-wise, are all up there now. So we've won this league now, and now it's all a wee bit rosy for us. And obviously they've got to get a rebuild, and then their CEO is leaving. So they're not in a good place. We're in a good place, and let's just hopefully that continues over pre-season and into the summer by some good signings to get our juices flowing.
Yeah, mate, definitely. Obviously, we'll come to the new season and signings and all that as we get along. As we go along, sorry. Just as your screens say there, folks, we are doing tonight as a live Q&A. So we are going to open the floor to you guys, the viewers, the people that are watching us. If you've got any questions about the season that's just passed, what you think might happen in the summer, moving forward, anything at all, guys, fire them in and we'll do our very best to answer them, and also, put them up on the screen and become a talking point. Before we do that, though, we've got a bit of good news. So the bonus ball has been filled and they're all gone. So before we get into all the nitty-gritty, the live Q&A and all the question taking and everything else, Ryan, I think it's only fitting, mate, because of the length of time this is taking to fill up. And we're going to do the live draw, okay? So I've got my phone handy. And as you can see, folks, if you can see, can you get a good view of that?
You see it fine, mate, aye?
So the balls are numbered from 1 to 100. So I'm going to press the button on this. I'll make the wheel a bit bigger, actually, because I don't think... There we go. So it makes it a wee bit bigger for everyone to see. So I'm going to do the live draw just now, okay? And then once that's out the way, I can announce all the winners, and we will then arrange to get your prizes sent over to you. So let me get my book. Got to get my phone and my book, right? So I've got my book here. So this is the top prize. The first draw that I'm doing is for the treble medals, okay? In fact, for anyone who maybe wants to know what we're doing here. So it's in this photo here, folks, for anyone who never managed to take part in the bonus ball, okay? So the bonus ball, there's 3 prizes, as you can see. The top prize is the treble medals at the top of the screen. The second prize is the Europa League medal against Bayer Leverkusen. And the third prize is the Celtic goodie bag. It's in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Right. Now, on with the draw, as they say, Ryan. On with the draw. So the first Spin. Spinning away. The number is 72. So let's see who's number 72. Feel like a bingo caller here. And number 72 for the treble medals is a Mr. Sean Farrell. So well done to you, Sean. If you can contact the page, mate.
I know, Sean. I'll let him know.
No worries. If we can get that, we'll get that arranged to send over to him. All right. So number 72, I will take a screenshot to let everybody see the winning numbers. Once I've done this, once I wait till you talking, Ryan, and I'll do my magic, mate, and get it all put up so that people can see the winning numbers. So number 72, Sean Farrell, you have won yourself a treble set trio of medals, mate. So well done to you, mate. The second prize is the Europa League medal versus Bayer Leverkusen. So here we go. And the winning number is number 54. Number 54. And the winner is P. Mac. Now, I know who P. Mac is, so I will notify P. Mac. I know who that is anyway, so that's fine. P. Mac is one of my mates, Paul McCluskey. So well done to you, Big Paul, if you're watching tonight, mate. You have won yourself a Europa League medal versus Bayer Leverkusen. It's a belter, I know. See, when you get it, Paul, you'll feel as if you've actually played the game and won the medal, mate. It's something to treasure. Right. Third and final prize. Eyes down for a full house. Number 19. And number 19 is Margaret McHattie. Well done, Margaret. You've got yourself a Celtic goodie bag filled with a hat, a bottle, a book, some badges, and all that jazz. So well done, Margaret. If you want to contact the page when we're finished, and we can arrange to get that Celtic goodie bag dropped off to you. If you don't stay in Glasgow, then tough luck, we'll get you somebody else. I'm only kidding. It doesn't matter where you stay, pal, don't worry, we'll get that to you. So, well done to all the winners. Yeah, well done to all the winners. So, number 19 was a Celtic goodie bag. Number 54 was the Europa League medal, and number 72 was a Mr. Sean Farrell. So well done to everybody that took part. A massive thank you to everybody that took part. Well done to the winners. Cheers, guys, for supporting the channel and supporting the bonus ball. But a massive thank you also to our partner at MCM Framing. Ryan, like I says, mate, when you get into a shop and buy these prizes, buddy, they certainly would have cost you more than £2.
Aye, like I keep saying, mate, I am brew these days is £2, so you're kind of getting a good wee bargain for the stuff that was on offer. And again, well done to everybody else who's took part and won. Fantastic. Again, I wish I could have got the prizes and took part, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed because JP says I was banned, so I wasn't allowed. But no, like I say, it's good to give something back to the listeners and viewers. Obviously, through the season, JP have supported us, his likes, subscribed and shared, and without the fans, we've been a podcast. So it's just always good to give back, and a big thank you to MCM Framing for the stuff as well.
Yeah, and it's just like Jokestein says, mate, Celtic podcasts are nothing without bonus balls, aren't they not, mate?
Aye.
It's that old cliche, isn't it? But yeah, a massive well done to everybody for the winners. Thank you very much to everybody that took part, showed your support. Feel appreciated. Hopefully this will not be the last one. Down the line as we go, we hope to get more. And yeah, it allows us to interact with you guys as well. And but Margaret McGahati, obviously Ryan, you know Sean Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
I know Paul Mack. So we don't need to know their addresses. We'll deliver that to them. Margaret McHattie, or M&M as you're called on here, please get in contact with us once we finish. So we can arrange to get your prize dropped off to you. Right, Ryan, as we've been chatting, mate, there has been quite a lot of comments. So my apologies to everyone who has joined us tonight. I've not been able to get your comments up as we normally do because I was doing a live bonus ball draw. First up comments is from a Celtic fan's view. I'm getting to tune in live for a change instead of catch up. Well done. Thanks very much. I hope, is us coming on earlier a helping hand for that? Because again, that would be, Ryan, I think that's pretty good feedback as well. If that's going to help our viewers to tune in live, if some of them need to catch up and be doing it too late, or I think maybe we could look at that as well. So, but it's great to have you live with us. Thank you. And Jem joining us also. Not the first commenter tonight. What's going on? Is there something wrong with your Wi-Fi, or maybe your fingers are too slow? Who knows? But it's good evening, Anne Jem, and yep, hope everyone else is well. Jerry Burns, he says, good evening, JP, Ryan, and everyone else. Graham Souness joining us live tonight. Also, it's nice to see you, mate. I know you're a bit down with your team losing the cup final and obviously not doing too well in the league, but it's good to see you tuning into the big team. And aye, it's good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Just seen this. SJ, sorry I never get round to putting towards the bonus ball. My mental health is really bad at the minute. SJ, I do sincerely apologise about that news. Listen, we are here if you need a chat, pal. If you want to reach out to us in private after we finish, please do so. Don't think that you can't reach out to us or have a chat with us. My DMs are open if you want to ping me over a message, even if you want to chat football or chat about anything at all. Get it off your mind, and you don't even need to talk about your main issue, your main problem. But thank you very much also, Ryan, for tuning in with us, because if someone's not feeling good about themselves, I think maybe sometimes the last thing people think of is tuning into us two lunatics, not us sitting here shooting the breeze and chatting football. But I thank SJ for joining us.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sorry to hear that, SJ. I hope things get better for you. And the best thing to do is chat to people. If it's on the chat with people on here, if that helps, if it's your family, friends, whoever it is, work colleagues, whoever it is, the best thing to do is keep yourself busy, keep active. If that means being on here and being active to the people on here, then that's one way to help yourself. So absolutely fantastic that you've been able to tune into us, and I hope things can get better for you. And like JP says, it's myself, JP, Alan, anybody on the podcast that contributes. If you do want a wee chat, we're always there to help, and the podcast is here for that as well. Not just Celtic, we are here to help anybody if we can. So I apologise for the situation, and I hope things can get better very soon.
Yeah, 100%. I just echo what Ryan says there. And like I says, please do not hesitate to reach out, because if you message me, I will message you back straight away. Even if you want to do it after we're finished, that's fine. I will get back to you right away, as I promise. Right. Obviously, tonight, as I said, the live Q&A, Ryan, it does what it says on the tin. So we are going to get right into it. And we, we've opened the floor now for, any questions at all. But I do think we've got one to kind of kick us off, haven't we? In terms of, I think it was John, wasn't it? So what was John's question, Ryan?
Aye, it was obviously when we put it out on social media. We got a message from John. It basically says to anybody who in the comments and yourself, JP, obviously Rio Hatate, I think he's only played 65 out of 90 odd games or so, something like that, due to injuries. Managers tend to like players who are not injured. They like to play guys who are normally fit and have them in the squad. Is Hatate's value going to get any higher than it might be at the moment? So basically, John was saying, is because his injury record, and if you did get a decent offer for Hatate, do you think the manager or the board could potentially consider it due to an injury situation, or do you think he's that much a key player that he's unsellable?
Well, first of all, I don't think any of our players are unsellable, Ryan. Everybody has a price. Celtic are in a luxury position at the moment where we don't need to sell. And that comes with being consecutively now going for a third year, being in the riches of the Champions League and winning the title and being in that sort of position. I've always said it, Ryan, money is power. And in terms of Rio Hatate, mate, I'm not too sure the now who might be looking at him. We don't want to start flinging silly names out there, but he has been injured for a large percent of the season. So adding all that into the mix, I think that might be the thing that scuppers any move from just now, because folk never really got a chance to really see him. It might have been different, Ryan, if he had played the full campaign in the Champions League and shone like a beacon. Mm-hmm. But that never happened. And, obviously we never got to see a lot of him this season. There was folk even... I've heard echoes and murmurs of folk moaning about him the last couple of games of the season there, saying that he was miles off it and he wasn't playing that well and he wasn't doing well. So it's a bit of a difficult one, mate. Kind of unknown territory a wee bit there, because it's hard to answer right now because his injury. I think that's what's going to go against him. Listen, I'm saying that now, we're bugged and we'll probably end up, it's one of the ones he's probably going to get sold in about a week or two's time, mate. You see this? I'm saying this, and before you know it, Brighton's bought him or something like that, or, something mental is going to happen out of the blue, but that's what it would be for me. It would be out the blue. I don't know how you would feel yourself, but I think just because he's injury, Ryan, I think he needs to maybe go again. And then I don't think it's going to hamper any sort of future move, or he's still a young lad, so I don't think it's going to do anything to his value. He is an asset for Celtic when he's at his pomp and he's fit enough to play and he plays regular games. But this season, that's not happened, mate. So I don't know what your feelings are.
I think because obviously he's been injured a wee bit this season, it's maybe took the light off him a wee bit in terms of teams, in terms of there's not really a lot of links about him going anywhere at the moment. Normally last season, is he signing a new deal? Is he staying? What's happening with him? Is he going?
Yeah.
There was rumours about Brighton and other teams, so there's no really stuff about that now. And I think that is due to because he's not played as much as he did the season gone past and before last season, and he was really good under Ange. It's quite interesting that Brendan keeps saying, he said it once or twice now, about keep the ball and ball retention. He's got to improve that. No matter how good he is, JP, I believe that if he keeps giving the ball away, the manager won't play him because he likes guys. He likes guys who keep the ball. Brendan's all about ball retention, get the ball quick and go. If he keeps getting the ball away, I'm not saying sell him, but the manager might be like, listen, you're going on the bench until you improve, until you improve that bit of your game. I do think, as much as I think we've all said it on here that he's a top player, when he's on his day, JP, he's probably the best about in Scotland. I know Matt O'Reilly's had a fantastic season, but Hatate's, there's things he does that just some players don't see. I did say at the weekend, I know there was a few other players that weren't great in the first half, but I did really think Hatate was a passer in the first half. I really did. I really thought he was going to go off half time. I just didn't think he was at the races on. It's just one of the games where he wasn't going, he wasn't himself, and I thought, right, half time, get a water Bernardo on. Second half a wee bit better, but I wouldn't even think about selling him. But I do agree with John in terms of his value potentially might be where it is at the moment, and unless he maybe does have a fantastic year next year, then you might need to think about, right, similar to other guys in the past, right, where's the point where you think about selling? Not just Hatate, any player. Because we all know that guys like Edward went for less money than he should have, but because a year later, and his contract was running out a year later, we had to get money for him eventually. So I get what John's saying about the injury thing, because you don't want to sign guys that are injury because I know injuries happen. They can happen walking down the street, they can happen in training. It doesn't matter if it's during the game or no, but ideally you don't want to have a player in your squad that's going to have niggles every 2 or 3 weeks because one, they're not going to get fit all the time, and two, they're never going to get a rhythm to then continue to play. But hopefully he's been fit the last few months now, so hopefully a good pre-season and then Hatate can get back to his best, because if he's back to his best, JP is an absolute asset to this team and in Europe. But I think he's more suited to the home games than his away games, because I think away you obviously need to try and keep the ball a bit better to obviously stop the attacks away from home, because at home you've got a bit more less leeway to go forward. You can go forward a bit more because you're the home team. You want to try and go forward and play the balls forward. So, but away from home, you want to try and keep it a bit, slow the game down, get the tempo down. So I get what John's saying in terms of the injury thing. I think that's the thing, JP. If Hatate wasn't injured, then he'd be flying. So I do feel it's just due to injuries or maybe stop his progress this year. But a good pre-season, mate, and I think he'll be a major asset next season. Yeah,
just to echo, I think I would be massively shocked if Hatate was one of the ones that was moving on. I don't think anybody foresees that coming. But again, football's a funny old game, mate. You know that yourself, and you just never know what's round the corner. But
why don't we just slaughter somebody so we get a new deal tomorrow?
Right, Scalesy, what you been up to?
I heard Scott Baines, what a goalie is, by the way, isn't he? Oh, Bainey boy, what a goalie.
He carries a water bottle's lovely for the boys.
Daily record tomorrow, Scott Baines, 5-year deal.
Oh, definitely. We've also got other questions. The partner of the podcast has put one in. He says, good evening, lads. Do you think the price tag for Matt O'Reilly will drop due to being excluded from the Denmark squad? And they said, obviously, good evening, lads. I'll let you, obviously, I took the last one to start with, so you can kick us off with that one.
Thanks for the question, John. No, I don't think his value will drop after the season he's just had. I think his value at the moment's at the highest it's ever been so far in his career. I think he will have some decent teams wanting to acquire his services, or at least try and see Celtic's resolve in terms of bids or interest, because as soon as some of these clubs talk to his agent, then he'll talk to Matt O'Reilly, they'll talk to Celtic, and that's when you'll see maybe links or rumours start to kind of go. There's no doubt that he's going to be. He'll have his suitors. Well enough, Celtic will think about selling him. I think, just me personally, again, I'm not Matt O'Reilly, but if I'm Matt O'Reilly, and as much as I love playing here, if my vision and my ambition is to go and play international football, and I've been told by my manager at Denmark or Scotland, whatever national I'm on, if I'm not going to move club, I'm not going to play for Denmark or Scotland or my team. That's going to put a doubt in your mind that you need to move, because as much as we're a big club, we're playing in the Champions League, etc. But if he's not going to get the call up or get to the major tournaments, he's got to think his personal career as well and his personal development. So I'm going to say, mate, that if he's been told that he won't play for Denmark again or called up to major competitions, unless he moves for Celtic out of Scottish football, then I think he'll be away. He might be happy for another year here and then go. But I think eventually that will be in his head that if I continue at Celtic, I might win trophies, I might play European football, fantastic, but I might never make a Euros, I might never make a World Cup. And I think that's a wee thing that might be in his head, mate. And I think that's one thing that might twist his head to potentially move forward.
Yeah, listen, everybody, as a footballer, most footballers have aspirations to play with your national team. I think that's common sense, really. With Matt O'Reilly, I don't think that's going to hamper him in any way in terms of, his ability as his ability. At the end of the day, John, I think you look at his European progress as well, what he did in Europe, and the way he played in Europe for us. He was a big player for us. The football, you look at the football we played leading up to the Kyogo's goal against Atletico Madrid. We done the same against Lazio. Kind of very similar goals, actually, with both of them linking up well. I think he's young enough as well to get beyond this. Brian McGarry, actually, he's mentioned about Matt O'Reilly there as well. He says, hey, well, Trouts, what do you think about Matt O'Reilly not getting picked for the Euros? I'm gutted. I hoped he was going so he wouldn't have time for contract talks with other clubs. To be fair, Brian, if contract, that side of things would get taken care of for him. The nod would come from him, either yeah or nay, or what's going to happen, and then his officials and representatives would then go and discuss the deal regardless of whether the Euros is on or no, mate. So I don't think that would have prevented any move for Matt O'Reilly at all. The only thing Matt O'Reilly needs to be present for is the signature and the unveiling whatever club when he is going to move on, where he goes. What I will say, Ryan, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to walk away, especially with the carrot dangled in front of him of this new format of the Champions League and, what can happen in there. You're guaranteed Champions League football to kind of early, mid-January. And then your fate's decided. So there's none of this anymore, dropping into Europa or dropping down into Europa Conference, all that's gone. So the focus is purely on the Champions League in the group phase. So Matt's a true professional. And you can see that in him, Ryan, the way he operates, the way he prepares for football, the way he lives his life. I don't see any of that just because he's not been picked for Denmark. I don't see that affecting Matt in a way that he's all of a sudden he's going to drop form and he's not going to be able to play well enough. And I think with that, what I said earlier, Ryan, but he's under a long contract. And Celtic are in a position, mate, where they actually don't need to sell him. So for that, they all marry up together if he's going to move on, then it's going to take a big bid. You're talking well over 20 million quid before it's shifting him, mate. And I'm being honest, mate. I don't know who's going to come in and pay that for him. I'd be really surprised if... I know there's talk of Atletico Madrid and stuff like that, but I'm not saying he's not good enough to go and play with them. I'll just be surprised if they were to go for Matt O'Reilly. You know? But I do agree with you. I think he needs to get out of... If he's going to play with Denmark, if the Danish manager doesn't rate Scottish football, then there will come a decision time for Matt to say, I want to play international football, and if I'm not going to be able to do that playing here, then I'm going to have to go elsewhere.
Celtic hold all the power on this, mate. They've got the guy under a long-term contract. Celtic don't need to sell. Celtic's get the best financial situation they've ever been in. I think Peter Martin said the other day when I watched it, at least at the moment, you're talking about 150 million. That's without selling season books or season packages, etc. So Celtic are sitting pretty. So, but then the Celtic board, we all know sometimes the Celtic board like to add a bit of money to the pot. The Celtic board might be thinking, right, if we do sell him for 35, 30 million pound, whatever it is, that's then the budget. And then we'll get that money. So there's things like that that could be in the equation as well. So I just think that for me, I personally feel that if Celtic get an offer, I'm going to say about £35 million, I think Celtic will need to think about it big time. Because as much as he's a top player and as much as we really need to try and keep our best players, Celtic, it's very hard for a Scottish club, JP. As much as the market should be more than that, if he was playing with Everton or Wolves, it'd be more than that. Celtic are going to find it very hard to knock back £35 million. That's a lot of money to this club, no matter how much money we've just earned. If we get that money, it then gives you a bit of money to then potentially go and get a replacement. And I'd like to think if you did sell him for a good bit of money, we need to spend that money on getting a replacement. No £1 million on a guy that's 18 to maybe be a Matt O'Reilly again. A guy who's really about the same quality to come in and play. So if you need to go and spend £10 million, you go and do it.
Yeah.
You go and do it. So I do believe, JP, if it's a good offer, and I think if it's a Champions League club...
If you spend £10 million, though, Ryan, you've then got that wage bracket you need to...
But you're kind of in a situation where you kind of can do it if it's going to suit. Because the way I see it, JP, is if you sign a player for that value and he gives you 2 years of success, you're at least doubling it or trebling because he's built his success. And then when he's put himself in the short window, it's going to go up. But
then what happens if you do it and then it goes the other way?
It's just one of ones, and there's nothing, like you say, we can't tell the future. But my answer is, mate, I think if we get a good offer for him, I think the club will have to think about it, and then we can go for there. But as at the moment, he's a Celtic player, and hopefully that's the case in the first league game of the season.
Yeah. Stephen Emmons has commented tonight. He said, JP, you're always good for a rumour mill. What are you hearing in terms of transfers? Stephen, I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't know what you're talking about, mate. What have I heard about transfers? I've heard they're happening. That's for sure. Nothing specifically at the moment. We have been told that the priority is a goalkeeper. And I think that will be ironed out in the hopefully over the next week or two. Like I says, Stephen, I've also said it to you, Ryan, we have lost a man mountain in Joe Hart. Everything he brought to the Celtic team, and Brendan touched upon it at the end of the game on Saturday. A guy like that's irreplaceable for the team. So I just feel that, I'll say it and I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. For me, the goalkeeping situation is our most important signing of this window, and it needs to be right.
A goalkeeper, for me, a goalkeeper's a priority. I believe there's 3 positions, in my opinion, that need to be proper, good. Left back, centre back, and goalkeeper. A goalkeeper has to be a solid number one. The left back has to come in my opinion, to take us to the next level in Europe. Because Greg Taylor's a steady Eddie. He'll easily come in and play domestically, and he's cover for left back in Europe. But in my opinion, Greg Taylor left back in another European campaign, it's not going to make us improve, because we've not improved the last two campaigns with him. So I do feel that we need somebody maybe a bit quicker, maybe a bit more, maybe good in the air, maybe, I don't know exactly what the manager will be looking for, but I do feel a left back, and I think that's a priority for me, JP, because for me, that's the weakest part, in my opinion, that's the weakest part of the team going forward. It's the centre-back next to Vickers and the left-back in Europe, and obviously the number one for me. But it's interesting what Williams said, and obviously we know Williams very good in terms of what he does, these tactic stuff and the two tactics and that stuff, and Williams also had a lot of good contacts in the past. He's worked with a lot of good people, so when Williams says something, we listen. Cheers, William.
Aye, cheers, William. Thanks for that. You've got him excited now. That'll be an important 10:30 show tonight now, I think, after reading that for you, mate. But hope you're William. Cheers for joining us also. Nick Connolly, next up tonight, he said, "Good evening, gents. What's your thoughts on a new goalkeeper? Have you got any in mind, just as long as it's no another Barkas?" Yeah, I'll go along with that, Nick. I hope it's definitely no another Barkas. It's got to be right, mate. Like I say, the goalkeeping situation, mate, it's a priority. It's the biggest signing of the summer. For us moving forward as a club, both domestically and in Europe, we need someone to carry us the way Joe Hart did, or similar. We've always had good goalies. Look at Arthur Boric, Fraser Foster, Craig Gordon, and now Joe Hart has been a great servant over the last few years. So we need someone who has all the minerals to play for Celtic and carry that number one jersey. Because the big responsibility comes with it as well. And you play a lot of games. And it's got to be right, like he says, and like Nick says there, Ryan. You can't be going and taking gambles with, guys that it might work, it might not. It needs to work, mate. This is important. It needs to work. So, listen, I know they're not silly. I've got every faith in them. But due diligence humongously needs to be done here. Otherwise, you run the risk of another Barkas.
I know we can only go on Barkas for what he was at Celtic. But he's absolutely lauded in Utrecht. Utrecht have said he's the best goalie they've had since Michel Vorm, which is a while ago for them. He's been very good and consistent for Utrecht in some of the games some of the highlights, take that back. I've not seen games. I've seen snippets of him on highlights, and some of the saves he's been pulling off for Utrecht has been frightening. It's a goalkeeper that we've seen before he signed, and it's just unfortunate. One reason why I do feel he was poor was due to the time he came in. It's just not a coincidence. It's just about every player that season wasn't great. But we can only go on what Barkas was at Celtic, and he was an absolute failure. So we can only go on that. I do feel that the goalkeeper that we sign has to be a goalkeeper that's going to be here for at least 2 to 3 years to build something. No, just sign him for a year and then we need to then rebuild and get an. Because for me, the core group of your team, if you want any success, it's got to be going about the same for at least a year to go and push forward. Your goalkeeper, centre back, centre mid, and striker. If they're all aligned and they're all quality, I feel the rest of it, then you can build around that. If you get your core properly, so if it's McGregor, Vickers, number one, and if it's Kyogo or Adamida or somebody else, and they four are solid options, you can then build your team around them. As long as you get these four right, then you can decide what you want to do with the rest of it. So, but we'll just talk about it in the future, JP. But the number one's got to be spot on. If it's a goalkeeper, £3 million, £10 million, whatever it is, no matter the value of the goalkeeper, he has to be a guy that's going to come in and be a number one. No a guy that we need to wait 6 months for him to settle in and pick his house properly and stuff like that. Get him in the door and make an impact, because, like he says, it's going to be somebody that's commanding and has that leadership role as well, because your goalkeeper's seen the full view of your game.
This marries into George Robertson's commented as well, and he's asked JP and Ryan, who would you sign as a new keeper? So have you got any names in mind, mate?
Being honest with you, I don't know a lot of goalkeepers, but obviously I'm only talking because myself, I was a striker, so I tend to look at more of the attacking options. Goalkeeping wise, George, I'm going to leave that to the new recruitment and Brendan to deal with that, because I really don't know. I like the link and the rumour mill of the Belgium goalkeeper, but it looks like he's going to Saudi Arabia, if he reports correctly. He looked the ideal candidate, solid, so many games in the German Bundesliga, plays with Belgium. He's 32, which is still young for a goalkeeper, experience. So that was a name I liked the idea of, but I'm being honest with you, George, I don't know what you think, JP, but I don't know. I'm not a goalkeeper person. I don't really know a lot of goalies that I know that would come to Celtic. So it's not something I would need to do a bit of proper research on goalkeepers to think about things. But I don't know if you can maybe go for somebody that's maybe doing the bottom of the Premier League. It's maybe similar to Joe Hart, that type of thing. Or do you go with the actual guy who's a number one somewhere else, who's been already there and done it? So don't you feel, JP, but I couldn't tell you who I would like, because goalkeeping wise, I'm not going to say one. I don't know a lot of goals to my name. I'm not a big goalkeeper person, mate.
Yeah, listen, I've combined a wee list of goalkeepers that I know and I've done due diligence on, and I think would be a really good fit. One's obviously Martin Dubravka at Newcastle. Corvo, if you're watching, mate, I'm sorry. I know he's loved by your fans down there, but I think he's a top goalkeeper. I think he must have fell out of favour somewhere in Newcastle, because they loaned him to Man United. So I would really, really, in my opinion, if I was in there and I was part of the recruitment, he's one of the top goalkeepers I'd be looking for, to go and replace Joe Hart, a guy like that. Another boy I've looked at is Brøndby. He's out at loan. He plays for Bayer Leverkusen. I think I've mentioned this boy, Patrick Pence. He seems to be a very modern goalkeeper now. With everything he can do, he's good with his feet as well. He can build the play for the back. He does it with speed, which I like. Doesn't he dilly-dally? And I think somebody mentioned that in the comments. I'm just scrolling there and I've seen a comment saying they want a goalkeeper to come out and collect. This boy comes out and takes people out.
Yeah.
With his knees, and he's quite comfortable at doing it. So he's a goalkeeper I've looked at, Ryan, and I've kind of went and done a wee bit of due diligence on him, and he's quite a young lad as well. So again, you want someone with a decent profile, kind of mid-20s, to then go and carry the mantle and be there for the next 4 or 5 years, whatever it may be, to take us forward. The other one I've looked at is a big Turkish fella, the boy Kakir. He just reminds me of a bad monk out of Mean Machine. He's just a loon ball. The guy's a luncheon. He's crazy. He just attacks you, and I love it. I could just picture him in a derby. Just playing dodgeball with their heads. I think it would be astonishing just watching him bouncing the ball off Dessers all the time. Just cheers, mate. Aye, as I said, looks a very, as Jen just said there, a scary looking dude, yeah. Looks really scary and really commanding. And again, good with the ball at his feet. Turkish number one, can save penalties. So these are all things, Ryan, I think is important, especially the way VAR is now. we have had penalties given against us now, probably more frequently than I would like, but unfortunately Joe Hart's no, apart from the main one that got us to the Scottish Cup final, he saved the kind of, he's not known for his penalty saves, whereas some of these guys can do it and do it in abundance, mate. So they're just kind of like some of the goalkeepers I've kind of looked at and kind of profiled for us. But yeah, James Kennedy, next up, he says, will we sign Ida? I'm just going to be honest and quick with my answer. I think yes. And my reason for that is because Brendan loves him. And you can tell Brendan loves him with the way he speaks about him. So I would think yes. I would think that will be pursued. And yeah, so for me, yes, 100%. Ryan?
I think it'll all depend on the Norwich manager, because obviously they've got a new manager now, announced today. I'm guessing he'll want to do his due diligence of Adam Ida in pre-season, or he'll want to have a chat with him before he goes in his break, or after his break. I do feel that's what it will depend on. It will depend on what Norwich City want as well, money-wise. I know before we stopped there, and after the cup final, they were talking 5 or 6. I've seen an article with Chris Sutton, or a tweet, apparently he says it might be £9 million that Norwich might want. Again, it's
amazing all these figures that keep getting branded about the big man, eh?
For me, if Chris Sutton's right and it's £9 million, I wouldn't pay £9 million. I think that's a bit much, personally. I think 5 or 6 is just about ideal. I think if that's the price tag and Celtic can get a deal done with Norwich and Adam Ida wants to come, then I think that's fine. But £9 million, if Big Chris Sutton's right, then I don't think I would pay £9 million. I think that's I think that's a tad too much, personally, for the player. But £5 to £6 million, I think that's fine. If we get a deal done, brilliant. But like I says to you last night and Big Alan last night, if we don't get them done, I'm not going to be too disappointed, because we'll go and get somebody else. We'll move on and get somebody else, either the same quality, or we'll pay a bit more money and get somebody better, if they can, that is. I'm not saying there is, I'm just saying they'll need to go and get somebody else. Celtic always, in terms of the strike department, even if Kyogo was to go, I still believe they'll go and get somebody of the same quality, because we've always had a top striker. Even in the 90s, JP, you had the Canals, you had guys who were still quality, but no one in leagues, but still quality. So I do believe that if you do sell one of your big hitters like Kyogo, or if Admi didn't sign, there'll be somebody to come in. But I'd like to think we go and get him now, because you've seen what he can do. He's no a gamble. He won't need to settle in. He knows Celtic. He's been here and done it. I would rather pay that money for him than going to spend £6 million and somebody another Herdy who might need to settle in and take a year or 6 months to settle in. I'd rather get him in, if it's second choice or whatever it is, get him in the door, and that's one player in that you don't need to go and scout and spend ages on. But we know, JP, we're talking to guys on here and talking to people in the game, and we know ourselves that deals aren't just done within a day. They can take 4 months, a year, 3 months. They can take as long as you need to take. So I like to think we can get done quick, but I do feel it all depend on the Norwich situation and what Adam Ida feels, because they might want to keep him, but then if he goes, no, I want to go to Celtic, then they've got to decide, do we keep an unhappy player or do we sell him? So for me, I think the ball's in Norwich's court, and it's all down to Celtic and Adam and Celtic and his agent to obviously try and get Adam to Celtic.
Yeah,
I think he will sign, but I don't think it'll be as quick as what some Celtic fans will think.
No, I agree. I think there'll be a waiting game there. They've just signed a new manager today. So again, he's going to need to assess the squad and see where everybody is. I think if he's not to have a look at Adam Ida, he's absolutely quality. The good thing is Celtic have done this many times now. They try before you buy route, you know. they've went and they brought in Jota on loan, Carter Vickers on loan. They've done the same with Maeda, with, Iwata. I know they were obligations and they became permanent signings, but they kind of done it there. They've done the same with Bernardo. So that, Celtic I'm on board with that, Ryan. See if we could be done it with Edward as well. I'm on board with that, mate. See if we can do that moving forward with some players, not all. But
I know we've spoken about it, but something's telling me there's something in this Edward thing. I don't know any information. This is just my thinking. There's just something in this Edward thing that the fact that he went again. Maybe I'm just
right out of the blue. I know what you're going to say. Went to the award ceremony in the Hydro, and
then never since then.
The day an award ceremony every year, and he's not been there till he left. So
just how much he loves the club and stuff like that, and he always speaks about Celtic very highly. Listen, I know they say don't go back, but Brendan's come back. If there's any chance we could get Edward, I would do it, JP. I think you've got to do it. I think the guy's absolutely quality. I know he's not had the best of times at Palace, but the thing is, like we spoke about the other day, it's different levels. If he's that bad into this league, he would do the exact same as he done the last time because he's quality. But when you go that level, maybe sometimes that level, maybe isn't he what you are at the moment? All right, okay, maybe I've went here. Maybe I should go back to maybe where I could be at, and then
by the way, push on again. You talk about that level he's at just now. He's done well in the games I've seen him play,
and he's been the majority of the time he was playing. He was put out to the left hand side. He's a striker.
Yeah, 100%. That could be one to keep an eye on. Definitely with the Edward thing. I'm going to say I doubt it, but you never know. It as well, football's a funny old game. Plunges asked a wee question. He says, guys, how many players do you think we need? For me, it's 8. So he didn't even need one answer at all there. So he's managed to see, you didn't need our help at all, mate. You're getting good at us now. How many players do you think we need? I'm going to say 4, 5 tops, and that's a severe push. Quality coming in to help the squad. So 4 profiles of a bit more experienced in age. Guys that have been round the block. Similar to the link that we've all seen with Daniel Amatri. Someone in that sort of profile of that ilk. But we need, in my opinion, Ryan, 4 of them to come in and really make a difference to the Celtic 11. Let's disrupt. Let's throw a rocket in among it all. Let's disrupt. Take Maeda out. Take him out. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can bring quality and put them in beside guys like Matt O'Reilly, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Alistair Johnston, Callum McGregor. Put them, Kyogo, Hatate. Let's put guys in beside them and then see what levels we can aspire to. So for me, 4, 5 at a push, but 4 really, really, really solid older profiles. Right?
It's going, but I think for the first team, in terms of coming in, making the team better, there's got to be 4 or 5 players. I'm going to say at least £45 million each. So go and spend about £20 million and 4 or 5 players that are going to come in and go, here you go. 100% peg leg, 100%. None of that spending £20 million and 12 players. I would rather spend five players for £22 million, £25 million and you're going to get a few of them that are going to be brilliant. Do your proper scouting on them. Make sure you know that there's going to be less of a gamble than signing somebody for 500 grand, a million, who's 19, 20, no really played a lot of first team football. We need to, this is where I feel, JP, that the board are going to get the ultimate scrutiny on them if they don't back the manager. Then they're going to get everybody out again saying the biscuit tin again and this and that and this and that, because this is where now we push on. I said to you the other night, and Aaron, this is where we've got the financial power and the manager, and what we've just won at the end of the season there, the biggest push on that we can do in a long, long time, to go buy Rangers, buy Aberdeen, buy Hibs, see you all later, cheerio. Yeah. This is where we now do it, because if we don't now, when's the next opportunity we're going to do it again? Have this chance to do it now. This manager's here, he's here for a reason. This manager's here for a reason, because Dermot Desmond phoned him up and says, listen, things are moving forward. McGregor's told him about the good things happening. He's went, right, I want a bit of this. So give him what he wants now, because I've said to you, people might think I'm being premature on this. If he does not get what he wants in the summer, he could be away in the next season, because he might be like, you know what am I doing here? What am I just going to win the Scottish League, just win a double? He wants to be here to progress Celtic in the European football stage. I'm not saying win European Cups, I'm not saying anything like that, but get us into past the group stages, get us into the last 16s or last 32s. That's what he wants. He wants to make Celtic a far better team than we have been. Yeah. And I've seen people, not just on this chat, but in other social media platforms recently, saying that Edouard down tools. Edouard scored over 20 goals in a team that was horrendous. He still scored over 20 goals. That's not a guy down tools. If he down tools, then every single player in that team down tools, because every single player in that team was about 40%, 50% less than their full attributes. Edouard, because he might look lazy, he might look... Ntcham was the same. Dembele was the same sometimes. It's just the way they are as players. It's just the way they are. For me, Edouard, listen, I'm Edouard's biggest fan, JP. I'm not saying to sign him. I'm just talking about his whole Celtic career. For me, Edouard was a massive success. He was unbelievable quality. He had everything. He was strong, powerful. Yeah. He could take men on. He could hold the ball up. He could header the ball. I thought Edouard was phenomenal. And that's
it, Ryan. You get your list out, man. You've got Gary Hooper, Edouard. Who else is on it?
Miku.
Big Miku. Jesus Christ. Remember him, man.
But I do feel...
We beat Barcelona with him up front.
45 quality players, and then you can maybe go and sign a loan player or a free transfer or a guy, £1 million, £2 million to help the squad. Get some of the fringe players out, add quality, and let's just push on to try and progress in Europe any way we can through the last few years, because I know we got a victory last year, we get more points, but we want to try and qualify out this format, because you've got a wee bit of wiggle room with them. I know the financial aspect isn't compared to your Man Cities and all that. I get all that, but you've got a bit more money now to play with to potentially help this manager. But the thing for me is, JP, we spoke about it on the other day's podcast. You need to back this manager. You need to back him, because Kyle McGregor loves him. The players love him. We are starting to all love him again. So back the manager. And for me, like we spoke about all night, back the manager. The domestic takes care of itself. Cheerio. The leagues will take care of itself. But it's a European campaign. You back him, let him start his stuff, and let's just see how we go.
I forgot about Andy Payton as well.
Martin, that's who my best player was. Morten Rasmussen.
Big Rasmussen, remember him?
Olivier Capo, what a player he was.
Olivier Capo, unbelievable. Stefan Mayakolo. By the way, and I'm going to be serious here, he actually looked serious until he got a bad injury.
His knee injury, wasn't it?
His knee just totally shattered. But he looked really serious. Couple of last questions before we finish up. Couple of last questions. Big Rab Bean has said, guys, do the club look at keeping Mikey Johnson based on his form this season, put out on loan? As a winger with the record, will cost $6 million plus. I'll answer quickly, Ryan, and I think I can do it pretty quickly with this one. Good point, Rab. Good question as well. Thanks for your question. I'm going to say no. I think Mikey's at the point now where he's had more lives than a cat. And I really think, I really think that his time has came. I've said it millions of times, Rab. Players have got shelf lives. And unfortunately, if Mikey wants to do anything in the game and have aspirations, I don't think he's going to be able to stay at Celtic, mate, and do that. I think he's going to have to move on to pastures new, Ryan.
Yeah, same answer as you, mate. I think it's now time to cash in on Mikey. He's been incredible in terms of coming through the academy at Celtic. You can see he's got ability, but it's just maybe it's Celtic. It's just pressure.
Good shout, yeah.
I think that could be something you could do, because I do feel that he could do well in the Championship. He done well with West Brom, so
yeah.
I just feel the level at Celtic. Maybe is it the pressure? Is it I don't know what it is, but obviously Mikey's got a lot of talent. You can see it.
Right,
it's just
he's a talented lad. Yeah.
It's just consistently injuries of no help down at Celtic. But I think the short answer is, mate, I think I would either let him out on loan and see his contract out on loan, or sell him if you can get somebody. The thing as well, a lot of fans as well, JP, people need to buy these guys. People need to be into it. You can't just go, I sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Who Under their FC, don't exist Rovers. You need to...
A couple of E-line pricks, Albion.
But it's the same as James McCarthy, right? Sorry, me personally, I think Celtic should just... If it's £1 million his wages, or 800 grand, whatever it is, just pay James up and say, thanks for services, James. Enjoy the rest of your career. If it's playing football or whatever it is that you're going to do the rest of your career, thanks for your services. You've helped us in the first season at least. Enjoy the rest of your career, James, or enjoy your life. Because that's when you need to just go, right, bye, right, Mikey, right, bye, Hasevanovic, right, bye. If it's Yang or whoever it is, sell them. If somebody's wanting them, get them out the door, because we need to get some money back that we've spent on some of these guys, because some it's will be spent wisely. So this is the opportunity now to go and let players go, get quality in, and just go and push on.
Yeah. Question here from James Pearson 88. He says, Odin Home and O have totally fallen out the picture. Do we give the guys the pre-season to see where they can go? Home was used in the Champions League until he was sent off, so he was trusted at that point in time. Yeah, there's an argument for Odin Home. I don't think we've probably seen enough of him to judge. I know he's been hit with a ton of injuries that have really hampered him this season as well, getting back into the team, and then something else breaks down on him and he has to have a layoff and away for the team and stuff. I think he saw his demeanour, Ryan, the day of the presentation when Cal McGregor asked him, do you want to lift the trophy? A few Celtic fans I know weren't, it was a bit sour in their mouth when he point blank refuses and said no to lifting the title. I can totally empathise with the lad, mate, because he's probably not felt part of it. He's probably not felt that he's done anything to contribute to that. You could argue as well. I mean, he came on at Ibrox, the game we beat them at the first game of the season, 1-0 at Ibrox. He showed early promise, Ryan. I think me, you and Barry Bannon had a chat, even off here in person, when we were down seeing Baz in January. He looks like a player who's got very good technical ability. It's just been unfortunate for him, mate, that he's not been able to carry that over into more games this season. In terms of Big O, James, I'll be honest with you, mate, I think Big Adamida showed a lot of flaws in O. and showed the difference in quality. I think those still not the finished article, and unfortunately, mate, Celtic's too big a club to, as the old cliche says, carry passengers, and we need to move forward, mate. O's been here a quite significant amount of time, mate, and in my opinion, now this is just my opinion, I don't know what everybody else feels, I don't think Big O's improved, although his numbers are good. But I don't see a significant improvement in Big O, and an improvement that you would say, I can see him taking Kyogo's place in the team here. I didn't see that, Bill. Whereas we had him either. I don't think there's any question that Brendan would take Kyogo out the team and rotate the team round to play Adam either. So I think that's the difference. And for me, there was a massive difference between the two players. You know, Ryan, I don't know how you feel with that, mate, but in terms of holding home, I don't think I'm ready to throw the towel on with him either. I think that's one that you could probably revisit again in the summer, and hopefully the lad can get himself together and get himself back in to some sort of shape or form where he's showing the manager, hey, I've not went away, I'm going to be annoying you this season, I'm going to be here, and I'm ready to take somebody's jersey.
Quite a good question from James there, and I feel short answer on Big O, sell him. I don't think he's good enough to play with Celtic. I don't think his overall general play is good enough at the level that we want to aspire to, or the level we want to get to, and that's continue to improve and win trophies and continue in Europe if we can to get better. I don't think you can trust him playing in Europe or even again in the big games, the derby games. So he should be flashy JP, but for me, the short answer is I think sell him. That I've seen when he signed, people were saying it was an upgrade in Giakoumakis. Ridiculous. I'm sorry, we've all got opinions, but Giakoumakis is light years. I know he's light years in age and experience, but in overall ability, no matter what age you are, he was far better than all. So it was ridiculous to even compare the two of them. Klinsmann obviously must see something in him, but because he plays him for obviously South Korea, he gets picked for the team. But I think for the level we want to aspire to, JP, I think I'd send him on loan for the rest of his contract or sell him. Odin Holm, I've liked what I've seen of him, but again, the manager's also said that he's had some injuries, he had nerve issues, he had back issues, so he's not had a proper year at Celtic where he's been able to show the manager what he can do.
Yeah.
It looks a bit rough and ready, a bit babyish, still a bit raw. So maybe a good bit a season, pre-season under Rodgers, get him coached, get him fully fit, and then we can see how he goes, because he was highly rated in Valerenga. He was highly rated when he came, so let's just hope the hype can continue next season. And no, I would keep Odin home. I don't think he's done anything to be told that he's just not good enough or he should be sold, because we've not seen enough of him yet to say that. So yeah, I would keep him and give him I think next season will be the season where if he doesn't then do it next season or get in the team at all, then you might consider your options after next season.
Yeah. With the time, we'll take one more this quickly. So this is from Typhoon McFlustery, and Typhoon has said, when is your next outside podcast, lads? The last one was spot on.
Can I tell you when you'll come and see us?
Exactly. Can't I tell you when or where?
But if we tell you, Typhoon, you can get us a wee latte and a wee chocolate biscuit for us.
That's it, a wee bourbon cream for your man there, and I'll take a wee tea cake. Big Alan's not getting nothing because he's cheeky. But don't know. We'll decide after tonight. Hopefully not too soon. Not too far away. Hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. Because like we says, we did enjoy that as well. But like I says, hopefully at least once a week, we're going to get some of that kind of footage going out as well on the channel. Because, it's a good laugh, Ryan, isn't it, as well? And obviously it's, we've got the mics and stuff, so why not get the use?
Aye, it's different content. It's good to chat in person as well, and it's good for other people to see how small I really am. Somebody says I was nearly doing on you, big man. So, but no, listen, it's different content for the season. We'll keep you all updated on what we're doing. But yes, it will be very soon again because it is stuff that we're going to be putting out during the summer and next season. So it's hopefully things for people to look forward to as well. And we'll try and get that done soon again, yeah.
There you go, the Unrestricted Renegades. Find them $150, clues to follow. Kaiser, you try to get a money-making scheme going for yourself. Kaiser, just while I'm there, I saw your comment earlier about a director of football or some sort of head scout or whatever it was. They've brought in Mark Cooper, mate, to head up things at the moment. Rodgers has added Mark Cooper, thankfully, because I think Richard Hughes and Mark Birchall were trying to take him to Liverpool. But Mark's a very well-known scout in the game, and he did a lot of his work over in South America. But obviously he's a Scottish lad, and I think he's from Glasgow. So
I just hope that, JP, I just hope that we don't get a massive influx of South Americans, because I don't feel...
there you go, you're jumping,
I'm just saying because...
Bernaby's big brother, his cousin, his auntie, his uncle.
Because even them across the water, and I know, for me, Efren Juarez was brilliant and then it just disappeared, but 9 times out of 10, South Americans don't really do well in Scottish football. So I don't know when that trend will end, but I think you're maybe taking a bit of a gamble with signing players from that era, that side of the world, because one, they then need to settle in, they then need to get used to the culture, they need to get used to everything. So maybe 1 or 2, I think, would be good if Mark knows somebody or players that are really good to come in and make an impact. But I don't want us to totally invade that market. I'd rather maybe sign 1 or 2, then maybe wait till next year or the next year, and then maybe get another 1 or 2. Maybe kind of go that way. But I wouldn't want a massive influx, because you can't set them on at once. They all need time to settle in and get a grips. And you might sign 4 for South America, but one might only be brilliant right away.
Yeah.
2 or 3 might take a year or 2 to settle in. So, but no, it'll be interesting to see if he can get a BGM for who he knows, because he obviously is experienced scouting. He knows a lot of areas, so it'll be interesting. It's a bit different for us,
me and you have read an article that he sent a memo to Celtic to tell them not to sign Alessandro Bernaby, and obviously it wasn't listened to, and so yeah, like I says, we just need to wait and see what's going to happen. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's joined us tonight in the channel. I know it's pretty noisy. SJ, if you're still listening, pal, I meant what I says. If you need them to talk to or anything at all, you can reach out on any one of the platforms. You can message us on the community section, and we'll get back to you, pal. And not a problem. If you need a chat, we're here. That goes for everybody else as well. If anybody's not feeling good about themselves, or anybody's maybe having a downer, and you want to take your mind off a few things and, talk about bleach, or just text Ryan. He knows some other things about bleach, by the way. Do
you want Fairy Liquid, Domestos, Lidl's own brand, Aldi's brand, I'll get you.
Ryan is your man there for the experience size of cleanliness.
We should do a transfer.
Cleaned out his soul this season with the stuff, man, I'll tell you.
We should do a transfer window on what bleach we want to use next season.
We're all right. I think we're all right. By the way, I've seen a photo of Liam Scales. It's nice that you let him out to do his photo shoot.
Or should I say what bleach
for the new jersey?
Should I say what bleach we need for away games in Europe?
Aye, for the away games in Europe. No, that's all right, mate. I bought a big trap door behind my couch now. I'll just get a missus to press a button and I fall into it whenever the team's on the attack.
4-0, all right, away then.
Aye. Plunge, I saw your comment there regarding Ryan standing next to me at Celtic Park. Trust me, mate, you would know if he was my wee boy. Because my wee boy's a lot more lively and more animated than Ryan was in that video, mate. So I think we know the difference. That's for sure, 100%. I actually need to try. I would love to try that setup with my boy to see what kind of content we end up with that day. If we ended up doing something like that with me and the wee man. But no, as I said, it's always good to catch up, mate, especially doing it in person now as well. It's good to see each other. Yeah, massive well done to everybody who's won the bonus ball as well and the prizes. Obviously Paul Mack, Sean Farrell and Margaret McHattie. Now, I've not seen Margaret's comments tonight in the comment section, Ryan, so I'm assuming maybe Margaret's not tuned in. So we'll need to try and
I'll
get a hold of her somehow. Or if anybody in the comment section knows who she is, or M&M knows who they are, can you please get a message out to her to message us ASAP? It's just so we can arrange to get a wee Celtic goodie bag. And Ryan will deliver it with his double denim on as well. I think that could be arranged as well. Paul, if you're watching, mate, there's nothing fancy happening when I deliver your badge, your medal to you, mate. I'm just going to throw it at your door, mate. I'm not even going to talk to you.
I think the next bonus ball should be a year supply of bleach.
Yeah. You'll be tapping that list, mate. You'll buy it at 100 buzz. Especially the first game of the season, man. Liam Scales is the Celtic captain because Callum McGregor's suspended.
Oh, new bonus ball. Domestos for a full year. Ryan, 100 balls.
Aye, a packet of spearmint chewing.
A bag of cans and a bag of bleach.
A bag of cans. Ryan will be outside Celtic Park. Everybody like a bag of cans and big hands back.
Aye, big hands back. He's playing Scales again. Get him back.
Stone his Tottenham strip on.
And can I get your t-shirt?
Aye. Going to ask Timo Werner to sign a 40 for me. But everybody that's tuned in, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure coming on, having a chat with you all again. Ryan, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you also, buddy.
You also, mate.
We will be back next week, folks, but we've no got a time and date as yet or day. We will notify you, so keep an eye on the community section of the YouTube channel and the Facebook, because we're at the end of the season now, and we're kind of, we've nothing to talk about, but hopefully in the next couple of days we will have something to talk about, and we will be back with you. My estimation, the new is probably our normal Monday, and then we'll build for there. So I tell you what, actually, he's just twisted my arm. I tell you what, I'll definitely be there on Monday for you, right? So I'll come on Monday. And
I'm on Monday myself, mate. We're
now committed. I'll make sure he's no down in Bleacher the weekend, and he's available with us. So, but yeah, everybody take care.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.
Enjoy the Champions League final if anybody's watching.
Yep.
But above all else, hail, hail.
Hail, hail. Take care.
The real Rangers were coming once again, they said. 3 in a row.